A super fat stack of comics this week, guys. And one final trip to Toys R Us. Stay tuned for the haul, everybody. Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer. Get ready to do Spider Slayer's comic book haul. This is week 321, or episode 321. And yeah, so if you're not familiar with the video series, this is the series where each and every week I show you, the fans, which comic books I picked up at the comic book store. And don't forget, in the comments below, guys, put what you picked up at the comic book store. Really looking forward to hearing that from you. Also, I made one final trip to Toys R Us. Their sales were 50 to 70% off this time, and I wanted to see if they had anything. So, with that being said, let's get started with the haul. It's a white bag again. they changed it. But I put some of the Toys R Us purchase in here as well. So, here we go. White bag on the floor. First things first, I wanted to share with you guys at Toys R Us is I actually got this Pop t-shirt. It is from Thor Ragnarok. Obviously, it's Hulk as a Pop figure. So I thought that was kind of cool to pick up. You know, I got it for like $4 or something like that. So that's cool. Adds to my comic book shirts collection. The next thing I got, it finally happened. I said I was going to get it, and I did get it. This was the Spider-Man Homecoming Custom Edition that technically is not for resale, but they sell it anyway, and this is part of the reason why Toys R Us is going out of business. But I wanted to pick it up because obviously it's got the Toys R Us store on it. It has Jeffrey, and eventually Toys R Us will be going out of business, which is very shortly, and I wanted to have this for nostalgic purposes. Alright, it's only like a 6-page thing. Alright, now we're going to go into the comic books. So, first things first, Batman. Prelude to the Winning Part 3, Batgirl versus Riddler. These books have been okay. I don't think they've been great, but they're fun reads, and if you want to add this to your collection, I think it's fine. And I think if you're, you know, what's good about these books is that if these are any of your particular, you know, favorite heroes, I think you're gonna like these books. This is some nice artwork here. Barbara looks great in this book, so this could be the best one so far. So we'll see what happens in this issue. So Batgirl versus Riddler. This is part 3 of this story. And by the way, if you hear some lightning outside, dude, it's like death out here. Anyway, next. Domino, issue number 3. Artwork, cover done by Greg Land. Really nice looking cover there. And I've liked this story so far. I think it's been pretty good. It's been entertaining. It's been fun. It starts off with a black and white cover here, and then actually it goes into color. So the story unravels as we go along about this mystery person that Domino is dealing with. He was an old man, and every time like bad things happen to her, he becomes younger. So who is the enemy in this book? So nice looking artwork again. I like it. I think it's fun. People may think it's too much like Harley Quinn, but I like it. So looking forward to it. This is issue number 3. Next, we have the B cover for Flash, and this is the Flash War, issue number 48. I love the first issue of this story arc. This is cool how you get to see Flash just running there. That's just awesome. And here we get to see Wally, you know, going into his future, and he's unsure of what's going on here. So, very nice artwork when you see the interior of the book. Very much looking forward to this story. Again, I haven't read Flash in a long time, but when it came to Flash War, I was like, okay, I'm on board with this because I love the rogues and everyone that was inside of this book. So, very much looking forward to the story, The Flash, issue number 48. Alright, next, we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. This is issue number 46. Last issue was cool, but I don't know what to think of Guy Gardner being a Dark Star, right? Was he playing it up? Is he truly joining them? Like, what's going on? And check it out, Hector Hammond in a Green Lantern suit there, like a construct. That's hilarious there, guys. It's funny as hell. And look at Guy Gardner there. So I really am curious on what the story is going to be. Here's a 2-page splash page. So really nice stuff. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. This is issue 46. Next, we have Hunt for Wolverine, the Adamantium Agenda, issue 2. This was a nice story because even though it's focusing around Wolverine, it had to do with Jessica Jones and it had to do with Luke Cage, and they're missing their baby's DNA or whatever is being sold for auction. And that's crazy. Tom Taylor is writing this book. His humor when it comes to the characters is spot on. The characters' voices are also spot on. I thought that the first part of this issue was great. Look at this page right here. Holy crap. What's going on in this book? I can't wait for this. So this is the Hunt for Wolverine, the Adamantium Agenda, issue 2. Next, Infinity Countdown, Darkhawk, issue number 2. I really like the first issue, and I think if you're a Darkhawk fan, I think you're going to really like this series. You know, they tried to catch you up what was going on. You get to see Chris Powell, what's going on in his life, how he's dealing with the armor and whatnot. Here's the interior art. It may be a little bit simplistic for you, but when you see him in his actual armor, I think it's pretty cool. I'm trying to find a page if we can find that. He's traveling with Death's Head so he can go after the Raptors, which looks like here's a nice page with him in the armor. So really cool stuff there. So there you have it. Infinity Countdown, Darkhawk issue 2. If you're a fan, pick it up. Next, Man of Steel issue 3. I was a little confused on what happened in issue 2 about where Superman went, what happened to Lois. I do like how Bendis is writing Superman. I am enjoying that. The artwork in the interior of the book has been split between different artists. So if you don't mind the change in artists, then, you know, that's good. That's fine. The artwork is pretty solid. It's not a huge noticeable change, but, you know, it's there. And I think overall this story is pretty good. I just finding that I like Superman, the character, the best here. I'm not keen on the enemy, and I was a little confused about the end of the last story. But again, we're going to see where Bendis goes with his Superman, and we're going to see how he develops the character. So this is the Man of Steel issue number 3. All right, next we have The Thing and the infamous Iron Man. So it's not Johnny Storm in this issue this time around. It's The Thing and infamous Iron Man. So this continues. Or it's a new number 1. So it's just a Marvel 2-in-1. Oh, it's the annual. Durr! I was like, why is it like this? I didn't even realize it. So it's the annual this week. So it looks like they're going back to Secret Wars here. They're telling a story of what happened. This might be interesting to see how Ben Grimm and Dr. Doom actually get along. I can't believe I'd even noticed that before. Interesting artwork here. So this story has always been solid. Chip Zdarsky writes it, and I think he writes a good Fantastic Four book. So we'll see where that goes. Next, Oblivion Song, issue number 4. I hope this story progresses a bit more in this issue. I felt like in the last issue, it really didn't progress, and I was left going, okay, well, let's see what happens next issue. And that's how Robert Kirkman's writing is. It's just interesting to see our main character, I think his name is Nathan Cole, go into this Oblivion and to explore it and try to rescue his brother. We get to see the scientist, one of the scientists in here as he's dealing with flashbacks of him being in the Oblivion and dealing with that whole situation. So it's an interesting story. I just want more from it. So Oblivion Song, issue number 4. All right. Next, we have Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man. This is issue 305. Here we get to see his sister doing battle alongside with him. And this story's been okay. The whole, I guess, I forgot what happened. Things in the future got altered when they went to the past, and we didn't think it was going to happen that way. You know, again, Chip Zdarsky writes this one. I feel like he writes a better Fantastic Four than Spider-Man. But if you like the time travel story, I think you might like this book. And, you know, the last issue was okay. And hopefully this one continues. So it looks like there's a Kraven octopus. Is that what's going on there? Or is that just Kraven and Dr. Octopus behind them each other? So we'll see. It seems like a little while this book has come out. So this is issue number 305. All right. Next. Plastic Man. 6-issue mini-series. Really nice cover here. I get to see Plastic Man. This is not my idea of a party. I don't know who the chick is. We get to see people here beating people up, and they're all bloody. So we get Gail Simone, who actually writes this book. Here is the interior artwork, as you guys can see, as I actually flip through this book. It kind of fits the book, because, yeah, he's Plastic Man. So he should be very bendable and plastic-like, right? So, interesting looking artwork in here. Very curious on what the story has to offer. For its readers, he's like Wonder Woman. So that's funny right there. So yeah, so we have Plastic Man. This is issue 1. All right, next, as the comics are starting to fall. All right, next, Quicksilver No Surrender. This is part 2. If you guys did not read the first issue of this was brilliantly done. We get to see Quicksilver in a different place. He's been flipped into this different dimension where everything is just stopped in place, and he's the only one there. And somehow he has to get out of here, and the artwork is so different in this book. When you read this story, you'll see that it's very fitting for this type of book, and he has to stop whatever these types of speedsters are or whatnot, and he has to save the people that are just stuck in place, which is very, very interesting. So really well written story. We get to see a little bit of back history from him as well. And yeah, so Quicksilver No Surrender, this is part 2. Next, really great book, Love Sideways. This is issue number 5. At center stage, it's the Showman. So who's this guy? He's like Magic Mike. He's all exposed, and he's wearing this, like, I don't know, this weird jacket. He's got this ring. But I love this book. I love the character. I love how it has many tones, like Spider-Man. You know, some of the villains that he even fights reminds me of, like, last issue reminded me of Regent. So very, very curious. Check out this guy. He's got, like, brass knuckles and shit. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So let's see what Sideways has to offer this time. I love how he's still learning to be a hero. And that is great. So we'll see what happens. So Sideways issue number 5. Cool cover. Next. I don't know, man. I just picked it up because it was interesting, right? The Weatherman. Yep, Jody Lahep is the writer, and Nathan Fox does the artwork. This is from Image Comics. I have no idea what this story is, but it looks weird. You got like a eclipse or something going on there. I don't know. This is just a weird looking book, but you never know when these independents catch fire, and it could be the next great series, right? So I decided to pick it up. You know, if you guys are interested in it, go ahead, see what the Weatherman has to offer. So this is issue number 1. Next, The Dark Gods, Wonder Woman, issue number 48. Last week we had the annual. This time it continues the story arc. Really nice cover. You get to see her brother Jason in there. I think that was his name. And we get to see the whole continuation of the story arc. I just recently jumped on Wonder Woman, so I'm a little bit lost on what's going on. I know she fought Supergirl in the last issue as well. I think she was possessed or whatnot. So yeah, here we get to see some of the Justice League in here. So that's kind of cool how they're crossing over right now. So yeah, nice stuff. So this is Wonder Woman issue 48. All right, next. Pick this up too, because I heard that this is a Mark Millar book or Miller book, and this is called Magic the Order. And I heard that this has already been slated for a TV show on Netflix. And I was also told that Mark Millar is not doing any reprints on this actual book. So if you want to get your copy now, get it now. Big Netflix advertisement on the back here. Pretty interesting, right? So he's going to make this into a movie. So interesting artwork right from the start. You can see it's very dark. Has to do, obviously, with magic. Okay. Oliver Capel is the artist in this. So he does really nice artwork. So yeah, looking forward to this. I'm not a huge magician fan, but it sounded like an interesting concept. So I want to see what this has to offer. A very dark book. So Magic the Order issue 1. If you guys have any thoughts on that book, Netflix in general, or Mark Millar, please put it in those comments below. Alright, next, wound up getting Venom issue 2, the variant edition. This is the Mike Del Mundo variant, so I'm happy to get this. Been looking forward to this second issue to see direction where Venom goes from here. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then we wind up getting the variant edition of Thor. Okay, if you're following Legacy numbering, this is Legacy 707. Really nice looking cover here as well. Very interested to see what happens in this new series. Now, if you guys are expecting the best artwork, you might not be a fan of the artwork in this particular series. This is the Weird World artists. The character, you know, the artist that did the Weird World series in Secret Wars and in the Secret Wars ongoing book as well, the Weird World ongoing book. So if you're not a fan of this art, you may not be a fan of this book, but the story might be really good. So stay tuned for that, guys. You know, be prepared. If I have time, I'll try to do a review on this. Looking forward to this particular book because we got, you know, Jason Aaron still writing Thor. All right. And last but not least, I got a couple of these issues. I wound up getting issue 1 of Cloak and Dagger. The first issue of the 4-part miniseries that they came out with. So I wound up getting that, and you know, they just released a new Netflix show. So I was excited to grab it. And then I wound up getting issue number 2 of Cloak and Dagger of that 4-part miniseries also. I also have Cloak and Dagger's first appearance in Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man. So this kind of, you know, gets that little collection going of Cloak and Dagger, even though I'm not the biggest fans of them. So there you guys have it. There is the comic books that I picked up for the week. Again, now it's your turn to put in the comments below which books you picked up for the week, which books you're most excited for. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so you don't miss a single video from me. Because guys, this channel doesn't work without you, and I appreciate each and every one of you all for taking the time and watching and commenting. So again, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next comic book review. Bye, guys.